Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jackie and Stephana.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. We're excited. We're for those that don't know us, we're the co-hosts of Happily Married Couples, and we are coming to you guys again with another Facebook Live. We're trying to keep couples connected through COVID-19. So this is almost a complete week, right? We got one more day.
One more day. Tomorrow, 7 days.
7 days. So have you had this conversation? Hold on a minute. You mean everybody's home all day long, and I'm still the one that has to cook, clean, do the laundry, take out the garbage, mop the floors, you fill in the blank with whatever it is in your house. Is that you, or have you had that conversation, or have you had that thought?
That's good. Sometimes it's not a conversation. Sometimes it's a narrative we play in our mind. So it's better to have the conversation.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Have our roles, should our roles, or will our roles in the household, in our marriage, switch or change or adjust during COVID-19? So before we get started into that, Stephana's in the chat, and we're going to share this to our personal pages too, as we're just trying to let as many people get this information as possible. So if you are joining us for the first time, the second time, the fifth time, this is our fifth time doing this. Then just give us a shout in the comments. Say, hey, what's up, Jackie? Hey, what's up, Stephana? Glad to be here. And let us know where you, that was loud. Let us know where you are joining us from while we get to sharing stuff in Facebook. All right. And if you've been here before and you haven't told your friends about it, shame on you first, because there's other couples cooped up in the house, and they might be struggling, or they might just be bored and need somebody to share some time with after the end of their workday. So share this with them, so that way they can get engaged as well. So let me share this real quick to my page. Boom. 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 So how's everybody doing today? Kind of I don't know if this was a slow day for us. What?
It seemed like it went by fast, but it's been gloomy.
Yeah, it has been gloomy. I'm really ready for some sunlight and some warmer weather consistently, so we can get outside more consistently. And honestly, I don't think anybody's been outside for the last couple of days other than me to take the garbage out. You guys went to pick up some groceries or something.
Sunday.
All right, during COVID-19. All right, let's go. So, anybody in the chat yet?
Travis.
What's up, Travis Brown? So, guys, again, let us know who you are, where you're, that you're joining us from Indianapolis, from California, wherever you're at. We got people that tune in and that log or that read my blog actually from all over the world. So, this thing right here is impacting everybody global. So we know that we got to share this. We got to get it out there. I'm on the wrong screen. Let me go back over here. All right, cool. So again, I don't know if you have defined roles in your marriage or not, or that those have been spoken or not spoken, but somebody has just, since you've been married, just stepped in and assumed that role and did that job. And now, and sometimes it's because of the dynamics of how your household was functioning. So maybe one person was spending a majority of time working outside of the house, that left someone at home, which means they could tend to more of the home duties. Or one person is, or maybe you're both at home and just one person's more skilled at something or enjoys something or whatever it may be. But is that changing now based on what we're facing right now? Because we're all home all day long for our family. We've talked to many other families who are similar. There are some who are still business as usual. But as we continue to go through this crisis until we come out of it, what happens? What is the difference maker? All right, you good? What you got to say over there?
No, you're good.
I'm good. I'm not doing the talking today.
You're doing the talking.
All right. So in our house in the past, Stephana was the primary cook. Then we got a little bit of help from our daughter, JC, until she went to school, because she assumed that role, and she's a foodie. So to her, being in the kitchen cooking, hold on, I feel like that. We're off center. All right. So her being in the kitchen cooking was just like a joy to her. So we kind of leveraged that and enjoyed some of her meals and some of the flavors that she dropped in it. One of her favorite movies is as a kid was Ratatouille. And she is like that that chef, the little mouse in there, where she can taste the food and tell you exactly what's in it. So that was her thing. But now we're all home. And I think that started where Stephana was the primary cook in our household. One, because she had more skills. And two, we spent, let me see, from Jackson being born to fourth grade, what is that, 10 years? We spent 10 years of her being a stay-at-home mom and a homeschool mom.
Work-at-home mom, right?
Did I say it wrong? What did I say?
Said it like I was chilling at home.
No, that's not what I said.
We maybe should have had this conversation before we brought it to y'all live.
Stay-at-home mom does not imply that there's no work being done, because that work being done at home, as we're all experiencing right now, based on what I see in social media, is harder when we're all day at home with the kids doing whatever. So she assumed that role as the cook and primary cook. And literally at that point, we were eating at home all the time. You were probably cooking 2-3 meals a day, full out meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Maybe just preparing something for lunch. And that carried on for a while. And then even before COVID-19, we had to make a shift, because when was that 5th grade? That must have been Jackson's 5th grade year. She started working outside the home for the first time since our now 14-year-old was born. Actually before that, because even before he was born, you were doing appraisals. So roles had to shift. So now here we are, and we're kind of COVID-19 stuck up in the house and all that type of stuff. And that outside working it out. Now we're stuck in the house a little bit. How's that play out? Does it still get back to her? Does it come back to me? Or what do we do? So babe, what have we been doing?
We've been doing a little bit of arguing about it.
Have we?
Just keep it real. We have not completely agreed on how things should function. And I think the realization for me is that we have to come together and work as a team and recognize that the eating and the cleaning of the house is something that doesn't ever get completed. You know, like that's something that happens all day long, every single day. And so one person cannot manage that well when they are working as well. So yeah, we've had some conversations, some disagreements and some frustrations. And I think that also I feel like that we're raising up the next generation I got 2 young men that I want to know how to pitch in when they become husbands, and to also be able to feed themselves prior to becoming husbands. So yeah.
So y'all wasn't ready to tune in for this, but it's gearing to get real on here. So no, yes, we've had some discussions, and I would say that they are reaction. We haven't talked up front. It's like, okay, here we're in this situation. So that's why we're sitting down talking to you guys about it, because we know that there needs to be a conversation or conversations in advance before you get into it. And somebody's like, why are they not doing that? Or why are they expecting me to do it? Or why are we not doing this? Real quick, I want to just do an audio check. Can you guys hear us okay? I forgot that we switched up the way we're doing the audio, and I didn't double check to make sure you guys are good, but can you hear us okay? Just give us a thumbs up or hear you or something in the comment section. All right.
I think so, because Travis said us too.
All right, so he's responding. All right, so here's some solutions to that. One is, and this needs to happen whether you're determining who is going to be cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, doing grass cutting, or whatever. But when it comes to meals, is really to, especially during this COVID-19, where you try to order something from the grocery store and it's not there, or you go to pick it up and the entire section in the entire Walmart store has no meat at all. So you got to figure out what to do. So I think one of the best ways that you can combat that, number one, and this is specifically to meals, is to have a meal plan. And that's one of the things that we struggle with, admittedly. And so I talked actually this morning, I was like, we got to sit down and plan, not last night, and find out how much food do we have left before we run out. And that lets us know when we have to figure a way to get Walmart, Sam's Club, wherever we're buying food, or go somewhere different to get food to make sure we don't run out. And then also it lets us know we have to plan it out. So if we got to make it till next Thursday, because that's when they said they're going to have food available or whatever we're looking for available, then what's our plan to get there? So that I think is step one when it comes to that, is that is a role you both need to work together on. So figure out what the plan is. Right. Number two is, and I would say start to involve the kids since everybody's home. So Stephana yesterday or the day before taught our 14-year-old, I don't know, taught 10-year-old how to make a grilled cheese sandwich. Very, very simple. And that's not the first thing he's ever cooked. So we're going to give him credit. He wakes up in the morning, fixes him and his brother breakfast. He's got these egg wraps that he makes, scrambled eggs, a bunch of different things that he does. So he's capable of doing it, but there's some stuff he's never done before. So we had to teach him. So involve the family in doing that. And this is an idea that I had, but I haven't even shared it yet. And I don't know how you're going to receive it.
We're going to see.
So I like the idea of having like one meal per day, or maybe if you can't do one meal per day, maybe every other day, is to make it a family meal preparation, meaning that, okay, maybe she knows how to cook something or prepare something that we don't, or maybe we're just not very good at it. And we can all come together and it's like, okay, we're going to learn how to make this meal right here. And so everybody does their part. Everybody knows what everybody's doing, but we're also working together. And now, like she said earlier, our boys can make their own meal and they can survive without having someone cook it for them. All right. So that's a suggestion.
Yeah, I like it.
You like it?
It's a good.
You down with it?
I'm down. I am.
All right. So adopt that. First, come up with a plan. So again, we're talking about roles, but we kind of pivoted a little bit because apparently there's some stuff that we needed to talk about, and we just happened to get on Facebook Live to talk about it.
Sometimes being cooped up in the house helps you to work through some things that needed to be worked through.
All right. So I think that applies to not just the cooking and the other areas as well, because maybe there's something that maybe it's the husband that's been doing it all the time. So in our household, I think that like this is tax week for me. And I've always been the one that gathers all of our stuff, no matter how organized or disorganized it was up to this point, and cuts it together and gets our taxes together. So maybe now that's the time for me to, because we've got time, to sit down with her and say, okay, here's what needs to take place. Here's what information we need. Here's what it looks like when we got it together. And here's what it looks like and what task is ahead of us when we don't have it together. So again, sitting down and kind of reevaluating and sharing here's how I've handled this role. Because I'll be real and this transparent. So when our daughter started to assume a lot of the cooking, she kind of managed the kitchen because she was at home when we were both out working. So when she went to school, we had to start adopting that stuff. And so I started doing things my own way. So as soon as she came back home, she's like, no, that ain't the way you put them up. These are supposed to go here. So she started rearranging my cabinets and stuff. And I'm thinking like, I just got good at that and got my own system. And now here you go adjusting it. So share with your spouse, here's how I've done this. So you can, one, educate them. They can kind of understand what you deal with and what you go through. But two, so you can empower them to be able to help it out in case you need to switch that role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the two are better than one. When we work together, we may come up with even a better solution to doing things than the way that we're currently doing them.
Your way is not always the best way, although you may feel no. Now, let me check in real quick. What's going on in the chat? Anybody else joining us? Hey, if you're just now joining us, today we are talking about our roles in marriage, and should they, will they, have they switched during this COVID-19 kind of stay-at-home self-distancing series that we're going through right now. So let us know in the comments if you've done any role changes or reversals or reassessments since all this has happened. So say yes, we have or are, or we're staying the same. Or have you even talked about it and you got to get on Facebook Live to find out that you haven't really talked about it, although you're trying to go through and help other people. All right, what we got? Anybody? All right, so as we're waiting, there's a little bit of a delay. So as we're waiting for stuff to come through, will let us know, or we'll jump back into the comments. So that's number one, is to kind of talk about your roles. Have that conversation up front. What are the roles? Maybe you don't know. And maybe somebody's been doing something all this time and they don't really like doing it, but they haven't spoken up. So speak up and ask that question. Number two is share. Here's how this works. Here's how that functions. Because let's be real. Sometimes we're in a household and one person have no idea how to work the vacuum or to work the laundry or something like that. Have that conversation and get that out in the open. And then next, what's next, babe? What's a good tip for them? Nothing. Next is be willing to change. Because if you go through it, they've expressed it, they've shared with you, or vice versa, and now all of a sudden you're like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna keep going business as usual. That's not the time to do that. This is an opportunity, as we've said every time we've come on this, is not just, we're not going to go through here and just survive COVID-19. but we're going to thrive. And we're talking specifically in our marriages. And this is another way that you can use to bring your marriage closer together. Figure this out. Okay. Maybe coming out of this, now you got everybody in the household that knows how to cook, everybody in the household that can. Jackson, our son this year, he's going to be mowing the lawn. He's practiced with me maybe a year or two ago. And then I think I took a whole year off after I had my heart attack. And so I didn't teach him, and we had somebody else doing our lawn. But now, he's ready to step back in. Soon after that, it'll be our youngest son, Joshua. So come together and figure out what you can do going forward. All right. What else we got? All right. Again, real quick, if you are new to this or not new to this, whatever you are, please share this with another couple who you think can use this. Everybody knows a couple that could benefit from this. And even if you don't think, if they haven't mentioned it or you said anything, you don't know anything about it, but just share it, let them get engaged with this as well. We do this every day, Monday through Friday during this COVID-19. We have no end date on it. The crisis right now has no end date on it. It's fun for us to sit down and talk and share. Hopefully that we can encourage you guys, but every day, 5 o'clock, we'll end by 5:30. All right. So what have we shared so far? Come together, talk about it, share what it takes to get it done, and be willing to switch. So 3 good points for you. And I think that's a wrap. What else we got?
I think that's it.
That's all you got? You ain't got nothing else? So we're not going to get on Facebook Live again. You can be like, no, we haven't addressed that issue. All right, guys. So if this is your first time joining us, go to happymarriedcouples.com. If you have not already, be sure to join our group and our Facebook group, and you can join the group through that link, happymarriedcouples.com. We got some more stuff coming in the future in addition to what we're doing right here, but we just really want to connect and help couples to, we gotta protect our marriages during this thing, man. There's so many other things. There's economic stimulus is happening. There's going to be some checks sent out to households. There's, and testing facilities, but we feel like we're doing our part by being there to stimulate your marriage during this part, because there is pressure on your marriage and uncertainty on your marriage, even if you're not having problems in your marriage that have never been on it like this before. And if you're not feeling it right now, at some point you will, as we continue going through this. And we want you to be out in front of it. We want you to be prepared, and we want you to not just survive, but thrive through COVID-19.
Yep. So keep connecting, and we will see you again tomorrow at 5.
All right. See you guys tomorrow. Oh.